The Mixed Mornings and More podcast with Steph and Shawn.
Now available daily.
Good morning, world.
Good morning. Happy Thursday. It's March 16th. We're a little early today, Steph. 5:29. Do we get a double raise for starting early?
I think so. Put it in with the boss.
I think so, too. Hey, we made an awesome content video last night, and people are saying you won, but I don't see it.
I do see it. I didn't see it in the moment. That's the problem.
See, that's why I think I won. You didn't see it in the moment.
Yeah, but there's video evidence. It's like you replay the tape and then you're like, oh, actually, sorry, we must take a point away from Shawn and give it to Steph because she is the clear winner here.
We didn't. So if you go on over to any of our socials, whether it's Instagram or Facebook, or I don't think I posted it on Twitter. If you go to those two, Instagram or Facebook, we did this simple little video where we put a clear cup under a faucet, and then we ran the faucet, and whoever made the water overflow in the cup lost the game.
Yes, and then you lost.
No.
Because the cup dripped over on you first, and I won, but you blamed me for losing.
Classic gaslighting situation. I love it.
On me or you? You.
100% me. Trying to gaslight everyone into thinking that I won.
Go check it out on our socials. It's a fun one. And you could even do the challenge too. See if you can win. We all know so much snow fell a couple days ago. And of course, it was quite mayhem trying to get rid of it. And we know that the plows are still out. Even on my way here today on 63, they're trying to kind of get the areas around the lights cleared and stuff like that. But it's fun to see neighbors helping neighbors.
Oh, all the good feel stories.
Yeah. So I got this one that says, I just got to say thanks to my neighbor, Scott. Man, when I was in the hospital and we had a crazy snowstorm, you cleared my driveway. And again today, I'm out of town and my wife was struggling to clear the snow and you took care of it. Thanks so much.
Big shout out to Scott. That's incredible to hear.
Yeah, it just like warms my heart so much. You know, what a thoughtful neighbor, and just so cool that it probably took him 15 minutes or so out of his day, but it really made a difference.
Yeah. I also saw a story about Father Bo's school up in Abisan. They said they value community a lot up there. A big thank you to their ILP staff. Do you know what ILP is?
No, I don't.
Anyway, the ILP staff, shout out to you. They jumped in and they're trying to get a head start on all of the snowfall. And there's just a bunch of pictures of a lot of staff and students just kind of clearing the way in and around the school for walkways and for places for cars to go. And then they want to give a special thank you to former Father Bo students, Gavin and Max Johnson, for stepping up and helping out. And they say the MVP goes to Jeff Evely, who jumped in with a snowblower when everyone else ran out of gas.
Wow. Amazing. I am just smiling from ear to ear. If you have a shout out, let us know. 780-791-1037. Who made your day this week?
I ventured on over to the dog park in Waterways yesterday. Went out with a dog and her mom. And
oh, yeah? What's the dog's name?
The dog's name's Nova.
Okay.
And man, the snow dump is absolutely hilarious. Have you ever been out to the Waterways dog park?
Only in the summer and only with my kayak.
Okay. Yeah. So it's like a bunch of wide open field, and then it ventures into trails, and you can just kind of make a loop if you want. You can cut in between the trails, this, that, and the other. And usually there's a good path that you can walk through and find your way. But with the fresh dump that we just got, it was just like massive amounts of just 2-3 feet of snow everywhere.
Oh my goodness. So did you bring your snowshoes?
Yeah, so I had my I had no snowshoes, but I had my big boots, and then I just threw on snow gear and stuff, and it was so nice. It was loads of sunshine, -5, and so it was easy being out in the snow. But I was also debating going to the gym yesterday. Nope, because after doing high knees through the snow for about an hour or two, that's all you need.
Yep, don't need to. I'm sweating over here.
That's right. So if you're looking for a workout, highly suggest dog park.
Meta, aka Facebook, laid off 21,000 employees.
Yikes.
Yeah, citing the reason as there were some ghosts in the machine.
What does that mean?
A ghost employee apparently is somebody who got hired to do a job, their project failed, they no longer have something to do.
Oh.
but they kept showing up to work.
They're like, I helped develop the groups part of the app, and that was 17 years ago, and they haven't asked me to do anything else.
Yeah, exactly. So I've just been warming a chair here, just been biding my time, getting my 6-figure paycheck, and calling it a day.
I love that. Great for them. Way to make it like through life a little bit longer.
Do you think that you could do that? That you could come to work and be so bored for 8 hours and then just be like, all right, I made it through another day. I'm going to go home now.
Not here. Definitely not in radio. There's always something to do or get involved with. But if I was in those shoes, I could make it last for sure.
The things I think you could make it last at Meta as well. I have a friend who works at Facebook, and she has said like all the food is free at Facebook, and you can bring your family in on a day pass any day of the week, no limit on it. And so she said that like most people just have family dinner at Facebook,
Yes.
and then their lunch is free, and they have like booster juices and smoothie bars and all this stuff throughout
Every
the campus.
day you're just getting paid to feed your family.
Yeah. So can you imagine if you were a ghost employee and you're like, what? How, where are we going to eat now? Like, this is what we did. But they also have like a post office there. They've got nail salons and stuff like that. And basically they've made it so that you don't
live at work.
Yeah, you don't
while doing
have to
nothing
go home.
at work.
So if you were a ghost employee, you could probably just be like, oh, I'll get a pedicure today, manicure tomorrow. That color was just for one sports game. It's going to switch it tomorrow because why not?
And then when you get to your desk, you just start scrolling Facebook. You're like, I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm working.
This is my job to look at
Making
this
sure
site.
things work here. I have a little bit of a Fort McMurray life hack that I'm reluctant to share and gatekeep, but I'm a good person over here, Steph.
Wow. Okay. Is it where you get your long johns?
No, I'm keeping that one. I'm gatekeeping my long johns.
I thought you were a kind person. You just told me.
I am. I'm sharing this one. I'm not gatekeeping this other life hack that I found in Fort McMurray.
All right. It'll have to do. What's up?
The bypass is slow on Highway 63. And you can beat the cars on the bypass if you get lucky and you hit all greens and you just go through town.
You think?
Like not through town, but like through the normal highway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've tested this a bunch of times.
Do you just have a heavy foot, though? Because the speed limit on the bypass, I think, is 70. Mm-hmm. And you think that you are not speeding, but you are still beating the cars on it?
I am not speeding. But so many cars take the bypass, a lot of semis, you're going uphill, and it's just a little bit longer. And most of the time, I think one time out of maybe the 20 or so that I've gone through the highway, I've hit a red light and I've had to stop there. I'm like, damn, my plan didn't work. But like 19 out of 20 times I've gone through, I've hit all greens, and I've ended up, I like look at the car that I'm entering at the same time. So I'll look at the bypass as they're going up and I'm going downhill, and I'll be watching. I'll be like, okay, where's that car ending up and where am I ending up? Every time I beat the car.
Now, I just have to ask, can we trust you? Are you actually saying the opposite of what is true so that you can clear the clog on the bypass?
I mean, if that's what happens, that's what happens. And then I'll just, because it's so a lot of traffic is on that one, is what I'm saying, and it gets slowed down. And then no one goes through and uses the green, so you're the only vehicle. So if it evens out, then maybe it'll help both sides. But hey, I'm just here stating the facts.
Okay, and where do you get your long johns again?
No. This is the only one I'm sharing right now.
I got to have the Girl Guides come into the studio last night.
Uh-oh. What'd y'all do? What did you get up to? You decorate the place? It looks a little different.
It does look a little different. There were 25 girls in here. I tried to clean up, but couldn't help it. So we got to practice reading some commercials and learning some lines, and then we got to write our own commercials.
Oh, no way. That is really fun.
Yeah, so I recorded a couple of them. Here's our first commercial that the Girl Guides wrote about Girl Guides.
Breaking news, Girl Guides have taken over this studio. Move it! Please follow us on Facebook and join us at girlguides.ca. And we sell Girl Guide cookies. Come on!
That's pretty good. Written and recorded all by Girl Guides.
Right? Not too bad, not too bad. Okay, here is the other one.
If you like being outside, making tents, sleeping in tents, selling cookies, and more, Girl Guides is the place for you. Hear from the girls themselves.
I just love being a victim of child labor. Cut the mics! Cut the mics! I mean, I love selling cookies.
And I love the lifelong bonds that we make with people that we didn't know before.
Hey, that's us. I love going on trips and playing fun games.
If you are interested in Girl Guides, visit www.girlguides.com. And if you're not
interested, go to Boy Scouts.
All right. Yeah, that's another one. That's more direct.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. I will say, though, they made these great commercials, but if you are looking to get your kid into Girl Guides, you'll have to sign up as a leader, too, because there's a wait list a mile long.
What might be the number one weekend in the sports world starts today, Steph.
Number one weekend in the sports. It's too early for the Stanley Cup. What's happening?
Yeah, it's March Madness. And so it's college basketball. It is nonstop college basketball, basically 10 a.m. this morning, all the way through till about Sunday.
Oh, my goodness. And it only lasts for the weekend or a whole Sunday from now?
Glad you asked. There's 64 teams vying for the national championship here. A little more than 64. There's some play-in games that happened yesterday and the other day, but we won't get too specific. There's a lot of teams competing for the national championship, and this weekend, all 64 teams are playing staggered all throughout the days, and then it will slowly over the weekends dwindle down to 2 teams for the national championship, which happens April 3rd. So it goes all the way past March. So it starts mid-March, goes all the way till the end of the month, and then we finally get a national champion. And I gave you a bracket right now. You're looking at it very confused.
Yes.
We did this last year. And oftentimes when you fill out one of these March Madness brackets, the person who bases it off of a mascot or something is the one who wins. And so that's why I think this will be really fun.
Okay. Well, I hope that my mascot basing and other just really liking the names of things pays off.
Yeah, okay. And see, I'm the type of person that overthinks, and then I'll be like, okay, this is my answer. But then I'll go look at some analytics and some stats, and I'm like, no, I'm changing my answer. And then I'll change it 3 more times, and then I'll settle on something. And so we'll fill it out today. We'll come back April 1st. We'll see who has the most correct. And what's the bet here? Loser
buys breakfast?
Let's do it. Breakfast on the line.
If you're looking to make a career change, the government of Alberta has put out the most in-demand jobs in the province right now.
Interesting. Government jobs or just jobs?
Just jobs. They've looked at kind of the entire spectrum and said, these are what you should look at applying to.
All right. If you're looking for a career change of some sort, maybe you have some negotiating abilities. Like, I've heard this is in demand.
Yeah. Pick me. Number 1, restaurant and food service managers.
Oh, yeah. I can see that. 100%.
Software engineers and designers is number 2.
Sure.
I mean, I think you'd have to go back to school a lot for that.
That's right.
Also, web designers and developers.
Okay, I think that's a skill you can go to school for it, but if you really want to dedicate some time, I think you can learn how to somehow design a web by yourself and then just grow from there.
Yeah, I think you could take a couple master classes, watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Telecommunications line and cable workers. I think that's on the job training.
Yeah, that's like labor right there.
Yeah. And then transport truck drivers as well.
Transport. Oh, yeah. So semis and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Which is a huge, that's very hard to do.
What one are you taking out of those 5?
Oh,
Are you going back to the service industry as a manager?
Absolutely. That's where I'm picking. Take me back to the restaurant. Let's have some fun.
I'd go with a web designer and developer. Now, obviously, I wouldn't be excellent at it because people who go to school for that are incredible, but I would somehow work my way through all of the free websites and the YouTube videos and tricking somebody into giving me a job.
There you go. You just got to really change the template on a Wix.com site and just be like, I made this from scratch.
The most basic thing. You're like, look at me. I did it. Special guest over the phone this morning. We have Paul, the creator of the McMurray Malt Maniacs. And Paul, you have an incredible event going on this weekend. Well, let's start with McMurray Malt Maniacs. What is it? What did you create here?
Well, we got a bottle share whiskey club. So just trying to get people together and enjoy good spirits, right? Quality over quantity. So this weekend, St. Paddy's Day on Friday, tomorrow, we've got an Irish whiskey tasting. We've got some esteemed gentlemen coming up from Edmonton to present for us. The Dark Cloud himself. To find out more about that, you can come out tomorrow. But we've got 8 different whiskeys from Ireland, some of them imported straight from the UK, and one of them from the smallest distillery in Ireland, maybe even the world. I'm not sure, but we'll find out more about that tomorrow again.
Wow, really cool. I like that you said you're just having fun and not being pretentious, because I feel like it might be a little bit scary to go to an event like this.
Exactly. That's why I called it the Maniacs, right? McMurray Malt Maniacs. So it's not society club. It's just for fun. You swear at each other, just taste of whatever. Everybody's got a different journey with whiskey, and just trying to get everybody to smile and have a good time.
And so is it open to the entire public? How can people go about coming to this?
So find us. Facebook's probably the easiest. McMurray Malt Maniacs private group, because it is alcohol, so we're not promoting it on the wide web there. But
Okay, very cool. And does it cost to get in?
it does, yeah. This Friday, this will be 140, and we also have one going on Saturday, which is 127, and it's a 9-bottle lineup. There's a rum, a rye, an English whiskey from London, England, and 2 bourbons, as well as a handful of scotches.
And where's it all going down at?
Quality Hotel in Gregoire.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like a great time. Paul, thanks so much for joining us this morning and educating people about your love, your hobby.
Yeah, it's definitely a passion, and like I say, it's a non-profit, so we're just taking the costs and dividing it up by the attendees, so people show up and we can keep doing these.
Right. Oh, one more question. I just off the top of my head. That special whiskey that was released with the wildfire, is that going to be featured?
No, not this time. We did that in December. We did a fundraiser for the SPCA, and those gentlemen came and we auctioned off a bottle at our December event, actually.
Ah, okay. Well, good to know. I'll see you this weekend, maybe, Paul.
Perfect, yeah. Come on out.
We got Obie in the house. Episode 4 came out of Canada's Ultimate Challenge. We have been going through this journey with you, watching it. It's so exciting to have a local guy, firefighter, first responder on the team and actually killing it. Go Team Orange.
Yeah, so far so good, yeah.
Yeah, let's dive into the episode. So I think, what did it start out with? The plane pull?
The plane pull, yeah.
Were you stoked to see that? Or you're just like, yeah, strength?
When we started walking up, I had a feeling what it would be, and then once we got closer, those were like one of the events that we can see what we're doing that day. So like everyone was getting hype, and just to have an event that like caters to my skill set was awesome. And I'm so proud of how my team responded. And a lot of people would look at Jules and Kenny and be like, oh, they're not strong, but they did everything they could to pull that plane, and I was ecstatic with our result. And to give props to Team Blue, like they had the right strategy. Like as someone that did strongman, it's easier and you generate more power if you can put it over your shoulder and walk with it. But for me, I had to put my team in the best position. And if you saw how low I was, the rope was still relatively high for Jules and Kenny, and like that's hard to generate power. So if it was over my shoulder, I can't get as low as Lewis, and because he's shorter than me, but he's more flexible than me. He can basically be parallel to the ground. And if I did that, I think I would have compromised my team's overall strength, and I think it would have hindered us. So we did what we did was best for our team, and to lose by a second, I'll take that any day of the week. And that was a very special moment. They embraced a pregame speech that I adopted from my time playing at St. FX, and I wish it was aired because I think Canada would have loved it, because my coach embraced it, my team embraced it. I had cast members say they got the chills from hearing it. Same with camera crew and stuff. So it was a special moment, but yeah, it didn't make the final cut. So
you got to reach out to post-production. Tell them just to send it over to you.
Oh, I mean, if they were to just take that clip and throw it on
social
as a reel, it was only like 20-something seconds. It wasn't that long. That it'd be cool for people to see that. Yeah, for sure.
Totally. I was really interested to see as well with this plane pull, these people, I have to imagine scraping their knees when they were falling on that asphalt.
Yeah, it's about leverage, and you're pulling a plane, but you got to keep your center of gravity, right? And a couple people slipped and fall, and that affects your time for sure, because that's one less person on the rope, and it's almost like a speed bump too for someone else, because no one's really looking behind them to see if anyone fell, right? But you can see with like Team Yellow, for example, massive disadvantage. It is what it is. You can't predict what the events are, and but you could see how much effort they put in, to the point where they're trying to run to the podium, and they can't, because their legs are so full of lactic acid that neurons ain't firing. So they can't move their legs and they just collapse to the ground. And Jules was kind of like that too. So like I saw her and I was gonna like reach out to like just pick her up, but yeah, like Team Yellow to do that event was very taxing on them, and I'm impressed they finished. That's all that matters. They finished, right? They did it. They proved to the world that women can do anything. He's a stud of a man, but like he's lean. And he's not as big as me, right? So he's only got so much strength to generate there. So, and she's a power lifter. She's strong. Like I think she could do that by herself. For sure.
Do you think you could do the plane by yourself?
I was petitioning production and even the ground crew that worked at that airbase. Like they're like, we want to see you do it yourself. And I want to, and I tried, and no, they would. they said pound sand, yeah.
Oh, okay. You tried to convince them.
I tried.
I tried.
Okay. I did. Yeah.
Oh
but
man.
No dice. Yeah.
I wish we could see that.
Yeah.
Obie, on to the second event, which was the tandem with the wine barrels and trying to run through a vineyard. You got to be front and center for your team for that one, right?
Yeah, that was super fun. When we did like a walkthrough, we saw the wine barrels and where the cork would go. They didn't cork it, so there was a hole there. So I was like, I go to my coach, I'm like, I could put my like first two fingers in there and I can, as a hook, and I could carry these things. They're 100 pounds, and like I know I can carry, because we have hose bundles at work that are somewhat similar in weight, but I know for me, strategy wise, it's easier for me to pick things and like walk or run with it, right? And it was funny story there. Like the barrels will sit in the sun and they were cooking, and when I put the first one on my shoulder, the metal was burning my arm. I'm like, well, this sucks, but I stuck with my strategy and just dealt with it. But
do you say you were O-line or D-line?
Offensive line, yeah.
You got to get low. You just got to push. That's what your position is.
Yeah, but the barrels are like an odd shape, right?
Yeah.
So like you'd see in the show that like they're all over the place.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, instead of doing that and my lower back issues to begin with, stay in that position, it was just easier for me to carry. And Jules was doing everything she could to get those things to me. And you're covering a lot of ground, and that incline was a real thing. And I was toasted after that event. I put everything on the line, and we just got beat by better teams that day. Our effort was there. It's just the strategy was the right one, and we just got beat by better teams that day. So.
I'm curious, how many events do you do in a day? Is it one per day? Is it multiple in a day? Because with it's cooking like this, I was like, damn.
It's every location was one event per day. The only time we did it was in Kingston, where the solo and tandem event was actually filmed in the same day.
Damn.
But we also, because of traveling from BC to Ontario, we didn't get in till like midnight, so they gave us actually a day off the first day in Kingston, and then we made up for it. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the third event was climbing the bridge, right? And
the solo.
How was all that?
That would have been a fun event to do, but I've been from day one is put your best player forward, and Jules is smaller. She can climb anything. This is her wheelhouse, and 100% I was not going to fight her on that. Like, she balled out, and someone who's got 20 years on some of the other female competitors and that, she smoked them. And to try to beat three strong dudes that Lewis, who rock climbs, that's a tall order. And to put, I feel like they did Dill dirty. They kind of put it all on her, and that's a tough battle to climb. Like, to expect to finish first against some stiff competition and not doing that event ever before, kind of sucks to kind of put it on her. And she took that bad. Like, she took it personally, and she felt like she let her team down, but she didn't. She was put in a bad situation, a difficult situation to kind of pull out, and it's unfortunate because my personal opinion is Coach Winique made an error with the player swap episode, and that I'll leave it as that. But like, it's like, I believe she picked a Dill based on her personality, because she's a beautiful person, beautiful soul. But did it make her team stronger?
Didn't diversify it. You needed just some strength, like
and like it's hard for me to say like you needed a male strength, like, because it sounds bad, but like, it's how the competition was designed. Like, there's events where,
well, I'm sure they would crush like an agility, endurance kind of.
And you can't predict what you don't know what the events are, right? If the events were from like day the first solo and the second solo episode in Hinton, like, yeah, they probably would have smashed some of the other teams, right? But that's sport, right? Yeah. And it was really crappy to see a team eliminated because we were like one big family, and then now it's getting real. At this point, it's like everyone kind of went up a notch with the intensity levels, and so it sucks to see people go, but Team Orange is there to win. So the less people there means that we're doing well.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, it was. I was very sad to see Yellow go, and also kind of, Red seems to have a lot of drama going on, so I'm kind of like, see it, bye. I don't really care about that team. I mean, and of course, since we know you, I'm Team Orange all the way. Yeah. But having Team Yellow leave and knowing that another team is going to get eliminated, what did that do to your kind of psyche and preparing for each competition?
My message to my team was our goal is to get to the playoffs, which is like top 3 essentially. So as long as we're in the top 3, and I love to be top dog, and like when you're at the top of this leaderboard, you no different than any other league, right? People are gunning for you, and people are nipping at your heels, and it's hard to stay on top, and we're just there to perform, and we know that the points matter. 7-point difference can be swung in like 2 events, right? Depending on how you finish. So we're not safe. Like Team Orange is not safe from being eliminated in Kingston. So we have to bring our A game, and it's getting real. So it's in the back of your head, and but my message was like, just keep top three, get to playoffs, and then that's a whole new season, right? So, and Team Red, yeah, they're having their struggles with team chemistry, and Seeds being able to take ownership and admit as a leader of that team that maybe his ways is not the right, because you have to adapt your personality to your teammates, and for him to say like, what, I'll dial it down, to say that, because it hurts to say, because as an athlete, like we're just intense people, right? Because that's how we were bred, right? And to be able to acknowledge that and dial it down is it shows good leadership, and hopefully they respond in Kingston from it, and we'll see.
And so is that where the next episode is? I think there's for a minute, Thousand Islands. Yeah. Is it Kingston?
Yeah, and the first 2 events are in that area, and then the next one was a bit further.
Okay.
The team event, yeah. I'm not going to disclose the location, but cool location actually, yeah.
So that fresh episode 5, airs tonight at 8 o'clock on CBC. You can also watch it on CBC Gem. Any kind of nugget we should watch out for tonight? Any non-spoiler secrets? No. I'll talk about it afterwards. Okay.
Yeah. If I allude to it, I'll make a bad joke. It's a bad joke, but I'll probably give it away. But no, it was cool. Kingston was cool because for 2 main reasons. I got to see Kwame Osei, who basically got me on the show, because he's a coach there, and then the head coach at Queen's University is my former quarterback, Steve Snyder, and so to be able to meet both those guys on the road while traveling and doing this it was special to me, because I haven't seen Steve since my last year, right? And just to see what he's done and the accomplishments and stuff, it was very special to be able to like just sit at a bar and have a beer and just catch up. It's like we never left St. FX. So yeah, it was very special for me on a personal level.
Cool. Well, Obie, thank you so much for joining us again. We'll hear a recap of episode 5 next Thursday. And of course, stay caught up with it. Watch all these episodes so that you know what we're talking about. We love you. Go Team Orange.
Yeah, it's getting heated. Let's go.
Yeah.
Want more of today's show?
Download the Mixed Mornings and More podcast.
Now available every weekday.